Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Please abiding by Afterbirth Plus. Big wins up in NYC, and big doinks out in Amish RIP. Compost is so weird here. And no, get out of here with this explosive diarrhea. That was last episode. Get out of here with the relax. I don't want to see it. Ah, what the heck, man? I don't want to be on this tiny room. Sure, make me some flies, some spiders. Do what you gotta do, alright? Do what you want with my body. Hey, stop doing this attack on this tiny room. It makes it impossible for me to dodge because literally my entire cone of movement is surrounded by bullets. Surely one of you is nearly dead. My freaking God. Just get out of existence, please. Don't shoot! Oh, it's a really good and fun room. What an extremely great idea this room is. What a really cool and fun part of the game that room can be. JVBLBKHQ. Well, I'm not gonna say nobody can fault us for that, because you know you can live there. The other way we could have done it is we could have avoided the whole thing altogether by just composting the pills, and we probably should have been fine. Could have been fine. Would have been fine. That room is one of the ones that makes me mad though, because it's like that, and some of the champion ragmen on the first floor are just you can't. Like there's a very realistic chance you go from full HP to 0 just because that room is bad. Unless you have amazing stats in one or more departments. Whatever. I'm over it. My blood pressure will remain elevated for a couple of days. Big friggin' whoop. It's worth it. Highly worth it. Ah! Honestly, if you don't do that room, you're a coward. That's right, I said it. That room separates the men from the boys. Did I take damage? Yeah, I'm a stupid person, but at least I'm not a boy. That doesn't really make any sense. Borderline offensive. Let's move along. I'm willing to torch you over a boss just because I find your movement annoying. I'm gonna get the heck out of town. We're gonna get to that place where we really want to go, and we'll walk in the sun. But until then, Eden's like us. Baby, it's a random run. Can I say, okay, this is more my speed right now. Bruce Springsteen gets kind of a bad rap. I feel like any musician with an easily imitated voice is too easy to make fun of, and it creates a situation where their true genius is not always appreciated. Bob Dylan. You know, it's just too easy. I could do it in 2 seconds. Bruce Springsteen. Okay, that was a little harder. Also a deep cut. Why did you just do Born in the USA? Instead, you went for like track 4 off of Born to Run. Backstreet's return. But the true boss fans out there are going for it. Bruce Springsteen, like, I don't like a lot of the stuff that he's produced in the last, like, 20 years, but Born to Run is a classic. Born in the USA is a classic. Nebraska's a classic. Harvest Moon is a classic. Pink Moon is a classic. The Moon in Antarctica is a classic. To the Moon OST, classic album. All of these, every single one of them, produced by none other than the boss, Bruce Springsteen. NL, I know one of those albums. It's not produced by the boss, aka Bruce Springsteen. I don't know what this bit is, okay? Oh, dude. Ludo? Don't mind if I do, though. It's IGGY. Is she still around? Because we're still in this period, right? Like, 10 years after your one-hit wonder track comes out, you know, you're done, right? Like, MC Hammer's not gonna come out with another album next year and be expected to go to #1, you know? doesn't make any sense. That would be an ignorant assumption. But Iggy Azalea, you know, Fancy came out 2013, I think. Sounds familiar. She could still be producing, like, the follow-up banger. Or is she just disappeared now? And is she disappear of her own volition? Or is it you know, did she get disappeared? You know.
Range down.
By not being very good at her job. Except for Fancy, which is a certified banger, as we all know. Of course I'm taking the piercing shots. Do I need to take piercing shots? No. I also didn't need to say it in that weird fashion. Do I need to take piercing shots? Grab this. Grab this. These are a little touchy. We'll go to the shop real quick. I don't know how the piercing shot is going to work here, but I'm willing to give it an attempt nonetheless. Hey, you! Don't hit me with your spikes. What do you got? Starter deck. Black rune. I like it. I'm going to go back. I have a good feeling about this run becoming insanely powerful. Obviously, by the way, we should have gotten this as soon as we got any bombs. I actually forgot that it existed. I'm embarrassed to admit. But it's the honest to goodness truth. We're going to come in here, though, and I'm telling you, dude, the stomp is inbound. This is just the start. So, as this tier is over top of you, it should do double damage. That's my expectation. If it only does double damage in the first tick, I'm going to be very annoyed, because that's a lot of babysitting, but hey. Life goes on. We also got more HP out of that, so it's like really good to begin with. Oh, y'alls. Yeah, so this, I mean, it's in an unreasonably good position so early on. That's a bad baby, let's be honest. Now, we don't get anything out of that, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you take a very, very expensive random stat upgrade, and it just happened to be rate of fire and damage, the two most valuable stats in the game. You think the game's making up for something? This is what makes me think that the troll engine is real, okay? Because we had a run where we got screwed. We started the run, hit Q, got teleported into a boss fight that I would describe as, you know, a breach of the Charter of Human Rights. We said it was unfair. What do we know? Next run, the game's like, here's every good item in the game, instantaneously. Thank you. I should have brought you flowers. It's pretty much where we're at right now. The game, it almost lost me, but you know what? It's bringing me back. It's a lemonade situation. Still more than a touch dangerous. HP's on the low side. Like on the real low side. Sorry, I just in my head, I had and this happens from time to time. You ever see the movie Phenomenon starring John Travolta? 1995. Had that Eric Clapton song in it. If I could change the world, I would be the sunlight in your universe. You know, it's a classic, except it's not very good. I'm going for it, dude. I don't care. I'm telling you, this one's got all the tools it needs. I knew it. I didn't even have to say it. In my head, I was like, the Hierophant, and there it is. You know what we should do is actually grab this first then, because I was just going to say. In that movie, he has like weird little, you know, brainstorms, basically. He becomes a super genius, and then he, you know, spoilers, he dies. Look, if you haven't seen Phenomenon by now, you didn't even know it existed until 2 seconds ago. Don't even give me a, well, it sounded interesting. Nobody watched it in 1995. You're not going to watch it in 2018. That's what happens to me with musical references. So when I said it's a touch difficult, my brain went, it's just a little crush. Nothing you do every time we touch. And I was like, oh my god, whatever happened to Jennifer Page? Also, brain, how do you know that One Hit Wonder Crush is by Jennifer Page? That's a song that nobody on earth has thought about since about 2 seconds after it came out. Whatever happened? Here's Jennifer Page Crush lyrics. Yeah, okay. Wow, the guy in this music video has amazing hair. Crush topped the charts in Australia, Canada, and New Zealand while peaking at number 3 on the US Billboard Hot 100, where it stayed for 4 consecutive weeks. Always amazed at the kind of stuff that gets a very verbose Wikipedia article. It was behind songs including Monica's The First Night, Aerosmith's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, and Bare Naked Ladies' 1 Week. Classic. Where the heck is Jennifer Page now? She is best known for the 1998 pop hit Crush. Oh no, she did a Kickstarter in 2016. Still, you know, maybe she's got some dedicated fans who really like Crush. Okay, I can't take any Schadenfreude here, because that might be what a lot of YouTubers are doing in 25 years after their heyday. You never know, maybe I'll be doing a Kickstarter like, I'll make more videos just like the old Isaac days if the Kickstarter takes off. But you'd like to think that, you kind of recognize things are on the outs, and then you exit gracefully, you move to you do what the Treble Charger dude did, and you just found a record label, start working at A&R. I don't even know if that exists in today's day and age, but you get the idea. But, still trying to bullet ball that thing into existence 20 years later, huh? More power to you. Crush was a huge song. It banged. Not really kind of item I'm looking for here, but that's okay. Anytime I read one of those stories, what I want is after the success of the single, she invested her money wisely, married the love of her life, and disappeared into the ether to live happily ever after away from the prying eyes of TMZ. And I'm like, it's never like that, though. Whenever you open up somebody's Wikipedia article and you're like, I wonder what they're up to now, and you see that one of the article subheaders is like, decline. Personal troubles. Oh, no. Conflicts and controversies. No! It started so bright. Now, that could have killed me. That could have killed me. I was just gonna say, I'll be the first to admit, been a little over aggro with some of our investments here. Little light on the HP side of things. What on earth? We're safe. We're safe. By design, light on HP. We've taken some deals that were probably a little overly aggressive. Yet here we are, and it's been a more fun run for it, in my opinion, at least. But we do, have to say thank you for the HP that we received. It's very helpful. Come on, Gimp. Give me some extra HP. Just a spirit heart now and then. I know I've got negative luck, alright? But I'm trying. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I don't want to walk back over and over getting these red hearts, It's not the way I want to spend my Sunday afternoon. I'd rather spend it pressing the spacebar on a really long enemy and destroying him. It's the kind of guy I am. I just noticed we have homing tears after our shot touches an enemy as well. It's just a little touch, not like I faint every time. Well, that doesn't work. But does anybody? It's one of those situations where I know for a fact I'm gonna get 7 tweets. Not a lot. I'm gonna get 7 tweets that are like, I had totally forgotten about that song until you brought it up. You know how I know it? It was on Now That's What I Call Music 4, I think, which is the only Now That's What I Call Music that I ever owned. Now That's What I Call Music 4. No, absolutely this is not it. I want the Canadian. Now That's What I Call Music Canada. Oh my god. Okay, so it's called Now. Oh, this is horrible. It was definitely Now 4. New Radicals, You Get What You Give. That makes it onto my current playlist. That song's a real banger. Sugar Ray, Every Morning. Sheryl Crow, My Favorite Mistake. All referenced. U2, Sweetest Thing. Third Eye Blind, Jumper. I wish you would step out from... I went under... Jewel Hands. I gotta admit, I skipped that one most of the time. Edwin McCain, All B. This is where it got sappy. Bare Naked Ladies, It's All Been Done. What you couldn't afford 1 week. Robbie Williams, Millennium. Millennium. Classic. Aaliyah, Are You That Somebody? A 98 Degree song, Jennifer Page crush. Brandy, Have You Ever? Oh, I know that one. Have you ever loved somebody so much it makes you... Really insightful lyrics. Now that's what I call music. I know those albums are still being published, but like... By the way, I bought that album for Every Morning. And it was a very Game Theory-esque decision. Because I remember, I was probably 12 or 11. And I said to myself, I want Every Morning. But why would I buy a Sugar Ray album for one song when I could buy an album of the best songs from 12 artists? And I think it was actually smart. You know, if you're listening to an album for art, you want the whole album. You know, you don't want one track off of a Grand Don't Come for Free. You end up with Fitba, You Know It, and it comes across as a joke. When in the middle of the concept album, you know, it's got a lot more weight due to the context. But if you're buying a Sugar Ray album, it's like buying a Smash Mouth album. It's not like they're telling a story. It's not like a Bruce Springsteen album where they're introducing characters and then gunning them down on the New Jersey Turnpike due to their own hubris, you know? It's just a collection of singles. And I know that because I have another Sugar Ray album. And I have a Smash Mouth album as well. I listened to like 2 tracks combined on both of them. Walking on the Sun and Fly. Which I still think is about water. But anyway. Cause what else do statues crumble for? Doesn't make any sense. Keep rolling with the way things are right now. The run is set. Got a nice deal with the Devil Chance. Grab some Spirit Hearts if y'all don't mind. What do you think? Second secret room? Secret room, I mean, right here? That was a decent kick. It would have found it. You know, we got a Spirit Heart. I'm willing to give you an opportunity here for success. Guppy's Collar is great. If we get other Guppy items. Otherwise, I hope that we never find out how good it is, because that will mean that we have died in one way or the other on this run. Just gonna stay very, very far away from you. Why do 2 Mega Fatties get a hilariously large room? 2 Champion Monstros get a very tiny room. Look, I'm not trying to harp on it. You know, what's done is done. It's in the past. I used to think, like, within the music industry, I shouldn't even taken that, but... No, it's a very naive and young person's opinion. I was said that with such disdain dripping out of my mouth. A young person's opinion. Lacking nuance and subtlety. But, you know, you're always like, man, it would suck to be a one-hit wonder. Nah, like, you know, it's not the best. There's no doubt about that. But when you're a kid, you're like, why would you be Len when you could be the Beatles? Just be the Beatles, dummy. Well, they're not as talented. I'm sorry to tell you. You know, it's like a perfect storm situation. You got Roger, Thomas, Billy, and Jethro. 4 of the greatest lads that Leicester's ever seen. They come around with their big hits. Penny Avenue. Raspberry Bushes Forever. You know, lightning doesn't strike twice. You just got to accept what you can get. The worst is definitely to just not even be a one-hit wonder and have your ceiling be a one-hit wonder. You know, to be like the people who got ousted by the Baja Men. The Who Let the Dogs Out crew. Like, if you're opening for the Baja Men, that's where things start to become, you know, in trouble. I'm actually going to look this. I know we've been going back and forth here. Baja Men Tour. Tour dates, the Baja Men. Who's opening for the Baja Men in today's world? Dude, apparently I am an idiot and the Baja Men are crushing it. Because here's all of their dates. Here's their concert dates since 2015. A festival, an NFL football game, the Today Show, Summer of Rum Festival, Walt Disney World, Epcot Center. Live with Kelly and Ryan, University, Disney World, Epcot, Disney World. Disney World, Epcot, Disney World. They're living their best life, dude. I didn't even realize that's like a dream job. You're telling me the Baja Men play like 3 gigs a year. Let's be real, each one of those gigs is one song. Maybe you play the song twice. But nobody's going to play anything but Who Let the Dogs Out. And all their gigs are at Disney World, television programs, sporting events, and music festivals. That sounds like the perfect... That's how you... Jennifer Page, you should be taking notes. So you released kind of like a steamy ballad, like, you know, a dang, wish I was your lover. Big mistake. Just release some like inane, poisonous song that worms its way into your brain and never leaves. That's the way you're supposed to do it. You made a classic mistake. Trying to get a little too highbrow with your pop song. All of a sudden, year 2000 rolls around, people don't want to hear it anymore. Who Let the Dogs Out, however, is timeless. It's like the Macarena or Can't Touch This. There's a brief lull when people laugh about it and go, hey, remember when that song was popular? We were really dumb. And then they become the age where they're able to go to bars and clubs, and all of a sudden they start ironically liking it, and you're back in the saddle again, you know? Gets in an Alvin and the Chipmunks movie, and you're good to go. All of these are very bad. And I don't even think it pains me. That's amazing. More than it'll pain any of you. I don't even think it's worth walking on the spikes for any of those items. That's the great... I planned this whole run about getting to that room, and then when I got there, I was like, no thanks. That's, you know, we evaluated it on an honest level. Now I can't get Who Let the Dogs Out stuck out of my head. How does this English language thing work again? Get back, Fluffy. Get back, Scruffy. Get back, you flea infested mongrel. I remember. Classic, dude. What an absolute banger. We have too many chests. I don't know what's happening anymore. I'm confused and perturbed. Where is the exit? I wanna leave. I always thought there's like, if you recognize that you're a one-hit wonder, there's like a few different paths you can take. I want to do, if I ever became a one-hit wonder, which seems likely given my musical chops, I want to be like Mark McGrath. To be fair, Sugar Ray had like 4 hits, but transitioned from being, you know, in a pretty, I mean, I wouldn't say Sugar Ray was ever really like a huge band, but they were known. You know, your little sister would be like, frig off, I'm going to the Sugar Ray concert later tonight, you know? It's not the kind of thing you wouldn't cancel like a dentist appointment if Sugar Ray were in town. But if somebody was like, hey, I won free Sugar Ray tickets on the radio station, do you want to come? And they'd be like, well, is it the VIP section? Yeah. All right, fine. We can stay for a couple songs. You know, I'm not trying to be rude. Come on. Come on. You know what? We should buy these because we get restock. I'm happy with my spirit art situation. No, you don't. I want this synth oil, please. Well, that's really good.
Ace of Diamonds.
Yeah, I know it's the Ace of Diamonds. It says it right there on the... Oh, I bought the wrong thing, but that's okay. Hello. That's the commenters. Sugar Ray's first album was good. They were a more punk and ska influence before the... Yeah. Well, the dude hosts Entertainment Tonight, the most vapid show on television. How punk could he be? Don't get me wrong, by the way. If I ever rose up in Hollywood, it's the thing is, like, in Hollywood, I have to imagine the phrase selling out doesn't make any sense. Because you already had to do some selling out before you got to Hollywood. It happens, but it's very rare, right? That somebody is like their raw, unfiltered self, doesn't make any compromises, and then Hollywood's like, you're exactly what we're looking for. So if you're Sugar Ray, there is no selling out. If you're the bandmates, and Mark McGrath is like, sorry guys, can't be Sugar Ray anymore. I'm hosting Entertainment Tonight, where we're gonna interview Mark Wahlberg about his favorite brand of protein powder every night. 5 nights a week! 5 nights a week the show airs. If I was the drummer, I'd be like, hey, you're kind of screwing me, dude. We could be playing Autumn Fest right now and Epcot. You think Disney would let them play every morning? I think they would let them play that, you know. Even though the song might be vaguely sexual, it does also include, you know, some chorus stuff that's fun for all ages. Shut the door, baby, don't say a word. Oh. That's the kind of thing I can imagine hearing it in a grocery store, which means I can imagine hearing it at a World of Disney. I don't know, they might be a little bit more strict than that. To be honest, I just don't know. It's like, have you ever heard Someday by Sugar Ray? That song is selling out. The song exists exclusively to exist. It's not like Mark McGrath was sitting on a, you know, he went to Lebanon and was like, I've been inspired by the events around me to write this song. You know, that's just like, we haven't put out a song in 2 years. Someday, when I laugh and so this episode has ended up being very surprisingly more negative to Sugar Ray than I ever would have expected. I didn't go into this episode saying, you know what, it's a diss track on Mark McGrath. We just kind of ended up there from a commentary standpoint. Again, wasn't my expressed intention, yet here we are. Forget that, dude. No thank you. By the way, again, if you're going to say NL, leave Sugar Ray alone, keep in mind, I own more Sugar Ray albums than the vast majority of people watching this. 1. I would say that entitles me. I mean, I didn't buy it. My parents bought it for me for Christmas, but that's another situation altogether. You'll never know what it's like, okay? If you're under the age of 18 or so, you just don't understand hearing a song on the radio, liking it, and saying, Mom and Dad, can you spend $20 to buy this album that has the song I like on it, because it's literally the only way for me to obtain this for home use. I used to tape songs off the radio, you know? It's illegal. I'm admitting it right now. But it was however long ago the statute of limitations is, okay? That's all I'll say about that. But you're like, ooh, I really hope the radio station plays This Kiss by Faith Hill in the next 2 hours. Spoilers, they will. It's number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. You make your own mixtape, and it always, you know, you get, you know, there's skits on rap albums. It was like that when you make those tapes off the radio, because, you know, there wasn't much room for editing after the fact. So it'd be like, you know, the song, every morning when I shut the door, baby, don't say. And coming up next, we got the Friday morning car dealership giveaway. Hunk, hunk. And next is Pearl Jam's Jeremy. And you're like, I don't really want Jeremy on this because my taste is bad, but I gotta go to bed soon and I want to finish the CDs. So, like, the invention of the compact disc burner changed the world. It was a beautiful era. I had a friend when he was the first person in our class to get a CD burner. You would hand him a track list of songs that you wanted and $10, and he would make you a custom CD. This is insanely illegal. Again, we were also about 12 years old. So if they want to go get him, I mean, if the feds knock on my door, I'm rolling over. I'm sorry, Tom. I'm not going down for this, okay? But that dude, he had the greatest business of all time. You may know him. His name was Napster. No, but that's where he got the songs from. Blow up his spot or anything. You know, he had a really, really good supplier of totally free music. The highest grade, completely broken metadata, pure, uncut music. And occasionally viruses that didn't really do much except annoy you because it was a simpler time. It was a different era, man. In the 2000s, early 2000s at least, when you got a computer virus, you weren't like, oh no, my life. You were just like, oh, my computer's all locked up. It's putting all these pop-up ads on the desktop. Viruses suck. Now you get a virus, you get like a phone call that's like, wire 30 Bitcoin to this address. It's more than, we're living in like one of the bad Mission Impossible movies. Back then, you know, the viruses were like, we owned you. To delete this virus, press Alt F4. And then you're like, okay, thanks, you got me. That might be ignorant, you know? There might have been terrible viruses back then, I don't know. If there were terrible viruses back then, I would think that I would have gotten one. Because, I mean, you just downloaded whatever. People would just, I want to download a new Dave Matthews Band song. Oops. It's a video of a dude blowing his brains out. Cool. I'm 12. This is normal. What about this one? Is this one the Dave Matthews? Like, it never deterred you. You were just like, oh, bad luck today. It happens. Sometimes you're trying to get an inoffensive adult contemporary artist new single, and instead you end up seeing someone die. That's what the internet was like back then. Now it's all corporate and scary. I just want one guppy item. 2 chests, 1 guppy item. Now that's a video. The run has ended up highly, highly good. Why are you trying to home onto a different enemy when you already exist? You know, you're on an enemy that is real. I don't understand. Anyway, this run turned out, damage-wise, very good. Didn't hear any items drop there. Health-wise, never really got too safe, but I'll tell you what, I'm really glad we bought all those spirit arts back in that shop. This might be Bookworm, now that I think about it. Is indeed. Just in time to almost certainly be completely useless. Speaking of which, Fate and Lost Contact. Actually, Lost Contact is going to be awesome. Yeah, that'll do. No, thank you, sir. We are out of here. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps it a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.